Hi everyone, welcome back to Tired is the New Black. I started this video thinking I was going to start talking about separation and divorce and split families and blended families and step parents and all of that, and then I realised that really what I want to talk about is just being a step parent. So I'm actually going to just go on that. I came into being a stepmom when she was 2.5 years old. Now she's almost 7, so that's been quite a significant amount of time that I've been a step parent now, and a significant amount of time in her life. I think in a lot of ways I got it easier. I say easy, it wasn't easy at all, and sometimes it was really hard and still is. It's amazing and I love it, and I never regret the decision at all, but it was a decision that I made, knowing that there was a lot of complicated shit involved in being a step parent and becoming part of a family that has started with a separation. I think the first thing that I will always think about is that I actually made a really conscious decision with this. I knew that my partner had a young child, and that whatever we did and however our relationship went, whether it kept going or we broke up or anything, I would have an impact on her life. I would have an impact on his life. But she, as a child, she has no control, and she hasn't had any control or say in the matter. Just being the girlfriend or the boyfriend of the parent doesn't mean that you shouldn't lay down some ground rules as well. Now, you don't come into it with all these rules and stuff, but the biggest thing I think was that when I said something to her or told her off about something or something, she needed to be done, I got the backup of my partner, and if he disagreed with how I'd done something, we would talk about it later. We never did it in front of her. Like, it was always, he would back me up. And then later on, if he thought I'd done something different that he wasn't sure about or whatever, then we would talk about it. But the point I'd like to make is that whilst this all impacts really strongly on the child, as long as you're trying your best and you're taking each day as it comes, then you're being as patient as possible, which is really easy to say and really hard to do. You'll get there. You will get there. It just takes a really long time. Some kids are way more open to it than other kids, but it's about personality and all sorts of things. But basically, each relationship is going to be different. But I think you need to, if you are making the decision to become a step parent, you need to go into it knowing that that's your choice and you've made that choice. That doesn't mean you get to put up with all sorts of shit. I don't think you need to put up with it, being, spoken badly to and everything. You should still stick up for yourself, because I think you should start how you want to continue. I don't think you should just be, walked all over by your stepchild from the get-go, because if you start that out, they're going to continue to do that, and you can't suddenly break out the rules a year in. It just doesn't work like that. So it's important that you know that it was your choice, but you don't get to be spoken to badly. You need to have some support. The biggest thing I see on forums is about how other step parents are talking, mainly stepmoms, are talking about how their husband or partner doesn't support them or back them up. Advice to these people is pretty harsh, because I have read so many of these comments about how they're just complaining and how awful it is and how unhappy they are, and they're only 2 years into their marriage. I feel like saying to these people, which I don't, because it probably wouldn't go down well, and it probably won't go down well on here either, but I feel like saying to you, you have choices. Now, I know you don't choose who you fall in love with, but you do choose who you have a relationship with and who you pursue a relationship with. If you start a relationship with someone who has a child, then you need to be open to the fact that one day you may want to get married to this person, and they've got kids, and that means you have a relationship with that kid or those kids. That is not something that changes. You will have to, no matter what, no matter how little time you spend with them, they are going to be your stepkids, and it's your responsibility. And the thing is, it's your choice. So you know what? If you have a problem with them now and you're not able to sort it out and you're thinking of getting married, those two things aren't mutually exclusive. They're together. Your marriage has a lot to do with your relationship with your stepkids. It has everything to do with the relationship with your stepkids. You are not just getting married to your partner. You are getting married to that family. And if you can't handle that, or it's not going right, or you cannot deal with all of the things that it comes with, and a lot of the stuff is hard, really hard work and upsetting and all sorts of things. A lot of it's amazing as well. But if you can't handle that, then don't get married to that person and leave. And do everyone a favour and leave. If you cannot handle all of that responsibility that you know is going to be there, it's not going to suddenly disappear, then don't pursue that relationship. I love being a stepmom. I think it's wonderful, and people ask me quite often, and slightly offensive, well, pretty offensively, when we're going to start our own family, as though we don't have a family already. We do have a family. There are 3 of us. There's another person involved, but there are 3 of us, and it's my family, and I love them to pieces, and I worked really hard, and we all worked really hard together as a family to make this family. So I don't need to add more people to make it more of a family. If we decide to have children, more children later on, it will be more children. Just because I didn't push her out of my vagina doesn't mean that I don't feel the love and affection and responsibility and just amazement at this little person that is turning into an incredible person. Doesn't mean that I don't get to feel all those things. I thought it would be really interesting to see what you guys think about this topic. Thanks for letting me take up your screen for a little while and talk about things that I care about. So I really appreciate it. Bye guys.